This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello and welcome back to We'll Run For. This is your host Tom, and with me as always are Aaron.
Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
And Diana.
Hi.
How's it going, everyone? Do we have anything we need to cover?
All right. So, yes, we are going to, this is going to be the last time we record for this year. We are going to take a little time off. This episode is going to release on the 18th of December. We'll be off on the 25th. Merry Christmas, everyone. And then the second part 2 of this episode, which will be all of your 2023 goal getter recaps, will be released on January 1st. Then we'll have probably a runner studio, hopefully an on the ground from Disney Worlds and Disneyland. And then we won't be back with a actual episode until after Disneyland, which will probably be about mid-January.
I would assume.
And then we will release our 2024 goals.
Probably in February, like
probably like in yes. Which we didn't realize we did that until we were trying to record for this episode, and we were like, "Where is our goals from this year?"
Yeah.
But it took us a little while because of Dopey to release them.
Will Bob also host that episode like last year?
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, I went back and I listened today and I sent a message to the group and I was like, oh yeah, that was the episode we had Bob start us off. Never mentioned it, never addressed it. Just let it happen.
Yep.
Until
That
now.
was a hard trolling of Greg from Rise and Run.
Yes.
And I think maybe 2 people even outside of Greg mentioned it to us.
I forget.
Like nobody even was like, why it was Bob like introducing the Will Run For podcast like he hosts it every week.
Nope.
This is your host, Bob.
Didn't even blink. Nobody even blinked.
I laughed out loud. Like I was peeing myself when I heard it. I was like, oh yeah.
Aaron, thank you.
It's like the week where we dropped sound effects and nobody
Nobody said anything.
It's a very specific sense of humor that I think a lot of times is mine that I just let leak in. Like Tom's always like, you've got like this weird sense of humor where it's funnier if people like don't notice or don't say anything.
Yes, just do it. Yeah, and don't say a word and just do it.
I think that's what like people have just come to expect the weird, so nobody is surprised when it's like there's a random episode with laugh tracks.
Fine.
And clapping.
It's fine. It's like what was that show on? Oh man, I'm gonna get it all wrong. He was a secret agent. It was
Dragnet.
No.
It's smart.
No, it's animated. It's recent.
Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget.
No, it's
Oh, if it's recent, I don't know what you're
It's
talking
like-
about. If it's recent,
Oh my lord.
Phineas and Ferb.
No, he's a secret agent. It's really vulgar.
Phineas and Ferb. No.
Archer.
I love Archer, but there's one episode where they replace Archer with a Velociraptor, and they don't
Don't
mention it at all. And
Yeah.
it's the best thing on the internet.
Oh, God.
Well, Aaron, thank you for keeping us on track, because up until 5 minutes ago, we were all on different pages of this book.
Oh man.
Diana was on my page.
I was.
Oh god.
So,
I'm
Some
choking,
other
sorry.
random things. We heard from our friend Tice. We asked a lot of questions on the last episode, and he sent a little bit of feedback and said that he
I
found
appreciated
us.
that.
I did too. He found us because he has family in this area, and he ran the Pineland Striders Independence Day 5K
Oh.
on
Oh.
the on 4th of July weekend
Obviously, yeah.
when we weren't around. So he found us through that. He started following the Pineland Striders on Instagram, and it suggested for him immediately after that he follow the Will Run For podcast. And so he started following us. He is 16 years old. He is in 11th grade, and he's fast AF.
He's definitely fast.
Shout out to Tice.
So shout out to Tice.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We enjoyed that bit of feedback. He also says that he doesn't think we use the slang right.
Look.
No
I'm not
cap?
surprised.
That's sus. That is so sus. He's all rizzed up and he thinks that I can't even keep going.
Oh my god.
You should at least know Riz.
Yeah, Riz is the
Oh,
word of the
God.
year.
Of the week. Words don't last a year anymore.
Not to be confused with the person of the year.
Oh, gosh.
One Taylor Allison Swift. Shout out to
Who,
Miles and Crowns and EcoFit.
Oh god.
Who Tom is making the fan club of. Michael may have missed this action on Facebook
Oh,
today.
I did. Well, if it was on Facebook, yes, I missed it.
And he spoke for the Will. He posted as the Will Run For podcast, but I'd like to clarify he does not speak for all members of the Will Run For podcast.
Oh, speaking of not speaking for the podcast.
But just real quick
Oh,
before
yeah.
you say that, he did make a fair point that he spent like 2 years listening to us constantly talk about OTF and just sat there and took it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he says
That's
he's
fair.
allowed to talk
That's
about
fair.
Taylor as much
We
as he
did
wants.
do that.
That's
Yeah, there
true.
was that.
I so am ready to get back to OTF. I just don't want to pay $200 a month.
$200. Yeah, yeah. Well, this actually, my mixing bowl injury reminded me that I really can't row because it causes my arthritis in my back to flare up.
Yes, his mixing bowl incident, where yesterday I was having trouble mixing the nuts and the things into my cookie dough. And I'm like, hey, can you do me a real quick favor and mix this for me? And so he injured his back by mixing cookies.
Oh my God.
There's an old joke in there somewhere.
We were just talking
So-
about our young audience, and now we're like, oh,
Yeah.
my arthritis from mixing cookies.
We got a 16-year-old that's listening. Can you relate?
He says he listens to us because we're funny.
I'll take that.
I mean, it's true.
All right, so
we are ridiculous.
I have to disavow
Oh,
some
God.
things that have
Oh,
happened
no.
recently.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So, as you know, I've been participating in the 10K steps a day challenge. Today's the first day. Actually, I wasn't able to do it. But I feel like I'm going to blame Tom and EcoFit for this.
Okay.
As Wendy pointed out, they left
Wow.
people out. You know what? I am disgusted by both of them also. Thank you, Wendy, for pointing this out. They didn't think of you. They didn't think of Puck and Ruck. They didn't think of Shawnee.
I know.
They didn't think of any. You know what? Shame on Tom and EcoFit.
Right?
2 peas in a pod.
I mean, I can't speak for EcoFit because that seems, par for the course. But I will say that I wholeheartedly apologize. In no form or fashion do we ever want to exclude anybody from any of our reindeer games.
We do need a calculation, though.
Yeah, so Puck and Ruck's response was, "What's the conversion?"
That's
when
what we
I
need to
when I
know.
sent it
Yeah.
to when Wendy asked about it too. She said that that the conversion is however many miles she does in a day. So she apologizes to Shawnee and to
I'm saying.
and to Puck and Ruck, but apparently she rolls like 34 miles a day. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that
all
can't be right.
screwed.
Like, what is 10,000 steps in miles? Isn't there like a calculation?
It's
5
Yeah.
miles.
It's about 5
miles.
Yeah.
yeah, it's about 5
About
miles.
5 miles.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Again, this is a bit of a corrections corner, and I would like to correct that. We apologize. I apologize on behalf of Aaron and Michael and Diana, and to a much lesser extent myself. We never want anybody to feel left out of anything.
No.
Just
How-
saying.
How's everyone doing with the 10,000 steps? I was doing real good, doing real well with it, and then I didn't, but I got it today. So
Yeah, today was the first day I didn't, and I knew like from the beginning of the day I wasn't getting it because I didn't sleep well, and I have my.
I did like 2 days and then I
cookie
quit. So,
injury.
you know.
Well, yeah, you did it with me a couple. Well, you did it. You probably did it and didn't even realize it some of the days though, because we walked down.
Oh
to
yeah, no, I definitely
Collinswood
did.
and-
No, I knew I did it. It was just
Yeah.
at that point I had missed like 3 days in a row, so I was like,
It's all right.
all
It's
right.
all right. Just keep.
It's a
going.
daily challenge.
oh yeah, because
That's it.
Yeah.
I missed like 3 days in a
Um,
row, and then was like, I'm gonna get back on the horse today.
Well, that's good. I'm glad
I
that
think-
you're better than me.
I think I've missed twice.
It's hard. When you're not like actively training for something, it is hard. And
Yeah.
it's cold.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
And it gets dark at 4:00.
Yes. If I miss my morning dog walk of 2 miles, it's hard to come home in the dark with anything to do at night and then get 3 more miles.
Yeah.
And I'd like to
agreed.
say what Diana just said, like when you're not training, but we have a half marathon in like less than a month
Yeah,
in
but
Disneyland.
yeah. It's different
Yeah.
because this time last year we were doing dopey training, so it just
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
True.
different.
It's different.
It's true.
Like,
Yeah.
it's right now I'm just in maintenance training mode, not to, you
You
know,
get some runs in. you'll be
under, you
fine.
know.
Yeah.
At least you're training.
underemphasize.
Diana is the most consistent person in this household, including our dog.
Including dog. Oh, also the last year's recap or 2023 goals episode was the unveiling of Indiana Bones.
Indiana
Yes, it
Bones.
was.
Aww.
Yeah. Do we have any new 5-star reviews?
We do. And speaking of Wendy, we have Chris Larson. Great podcast. I really enjoy it. It checks all the boxes, running with some Disney trails, drinks, and real life adventures too. Y'all are super relatable and such fun to listen to. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris.
And then DW for me, who we hear from regularly. Let me explain Florida's cold weather. This was a topic definitely last time. Raised in Chicago, I know cold. We've been in Florida for 23 years, and our 50 degrees is way colder than up north 50. It's because of the humidity. Makes that temperature way colder than it should be. Yep.
Mhm.
Agreed.
So, full transparency, DW for me. Who are
Who are
you?
you?
We're trying to pick up context clues because we know how long you've been in Florida, and we know that you were raised in Chicago.
And it's an updated review, so I can't go back and look for context clues in the previous ones because once you update it, the other one goes away. So I feel like at some point maybe we knew who you were, but now all of us are like it does not correspond with an Instagram handle, so we're struggling.
You know what? We could look through the old show notes.
Oh, God.
That'd be a
We do
lot of
actually
work.
have them.
God.
Can we get ChatGPT
Can
to
you?
do that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you search somehow in the?
Use AI.
Or
Well, yeah, you'd
Yeah.
have to upload all of it, and then
Yeah.
it just becomes one with the
The
Chat
world.
GPT.
Yeah.
we could
Okay.
also just, this could be like a Lady Whistledown situation where we don't know.
Who did we just call Lady Whistledown? We referred to someone as Lady
Oh,
Whistledown, and we
God.
were giggling about it.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh,
It's a
God.
What are
Bridgerton
we-
thing.
It's a Bridgerton.
Oh, that's
thing,
why I
yeah.
Oh
don't know
my
what it
God,
means.
is
Sorry.
Bridgerton coming back soon?
It is, isn't it?
All
It's
right.
gotta be. Hang on. This is important. Continue about your business. I'm looking up Bridgerton.
So, what are we running for this week?
Ooh, I am running because we have back-to-back races this weekend. So we
Ooh.
have our Celtic Solstice 5-miler and our Holiday Hustle 5K on Sunday. So kind of short little runs. Very excited. Races that we do every year. And hopefully I'm feeling okay. I don't think, because we haven't like talked since I last ran, but I guess it was not this past weekend, but the weekend before. I went out for 6 miles and I started feeling some like hip pain.
Oh,
And I was like trying to run through it. And then it got like where it was like hurting. So I was running with Nicole and I made her walk out the last mile. And it's kind of been feeling funky ever since. So I've been trying to rest. So I like didn't run this weekend. I've been doing the bike and some random strength. And it seems to be feeling okay. I bought like an ice pack that just goes on your hip. And I've got to make a doctor's appointment. I just have to actually do that. I don't know. It's the same side where my knee is injured, so I'm sure it's all connecting and talking in a bad way.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm sure that is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. It was actually hurting, and I usually have that like, my body hurts pain when I'm running, but I was like, oh, this is like a sharp
Different.
targeted pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and Nicole yelled at me and said, Because I think at one point I was like, I think we've got to switch the intervals. And she said, if it's hurting that bad, we're walking. So thank you, Nicole.
Yep. I'll piggyback off of that. I'm running for actual running.
Wow.
It's far and few between is actual running right now. Thank goodness for the 10,000 steps a day challenge. But yeah, I'm happy to actually go do some running. Because I'll make it through the Disneyland half marathon, but that's going to be painful. I do not have the fitness where I can fake. I do not have the fitness where I can fake my way through a half.
Race. You've got to get trained up so you feel good during it.
No,
I don't know. I think
I'll enjoy the race, but it's just, I'll be able to fake my way through half of it, and then the second half it'll be a little challenge. I mean, I'll finish, but it'll be challenging.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like your body kind of remembers-ish. I mean, I'm not saying it'll be pleasant, but I think that, you'll get through it.
I'll be a ray of sunshine.
A full would be worse.
Yeah, well, yes.
A full would be worse.
There are several people I know who have tried to fake their way through a half marathon, Steph and Linda, this weekend.
A full marathon.
And it took them a full marathon, and it took them 9.5 hours to do.
I would rather be dead. I saw them posting, and I literally thought I would rather be dead.
Disney won't let me take 9 hours to do it.
I don't want to do
Sure, there was no
anything for
time
9
limit.
hours.
There was no time limit. I said that I give them credit because I don't think that I have done 8 hours, and that is in Disney,
long time,
and that is like really my limit. Like it's 7 hours and 58 minutes, I think, is my long PR, and I think that was hard. I'm running for strength training for the first time in like a very long time.
That
was on your goals for last year.
It was. Good thing you started it now.
It's a wild world when Diana listens to an episode. I love it.
It's a good thing I finally did some strength training the last week before I had to talk about whether or not I did my goals.
Oh, God.
But yes, I have built a few stacks in the last week and a half. I'm inspired by Diana and her damn stacks.
That's because you can turn your brain off. The stack makes it turn the brain off.
Except that on Saturday, Friday night, I had meant to build one, and I forgot. So on Saturday, I woke up and there was going to be strength training, full body for 45 minutes. And I was like, oh, well, I would have done like a half hour of different ones in a row to like 35 minutes. So I'm like, 45 minutes, I could do that. It was a bad idea. Bad idea. It was a bad idea.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Bad. I can't sneeze without my abs hurting still.
Oh, God.
Nice.
It's painful. Even that laugh was a little painful.
Oh, man.
So, but I'm strength training right now, and I'm hoping that I don't know, it makes me stronger.
There you go.
It's what it's supposed to do. I guess I'm running for Frosty Looper, which is this weekend, and no real goals or anything. Just gonna run.
We're gonna see Greg there.
See Greg.
Nice.
Have some fun.
Rise and run.
Run around the lake a little bit in the shade, and all the shade that's out there.
What's the weather supposed to be like this weekend?
Like 45.
It's not too bad.
It's not awful.
It's not as bad as it could be.
As long as it's
Could be
clear.
worse.
If it's clear, that's not bad.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like showery, possible. I don't know. It's I didn't really look.
Well, that's
yet,
that's not great.
Yeah, this week, we looked, I think, on Saturday, so it was still a full week away. So hopefully
clears up or something.
It turns a bit. But we'll have done all of these races you just talked about by the time this episode comes out.
Yeah.
So.
But we should have fun there. And it's only like 3 miles away. So
52 is the high.
Oh, look at that, 52. I'm down with that. That's excellent.
But it is a little showery.
That's okay.
Occasional shower in the afternoon.
Last year it was like 35 and windy.
That's true.
It was miserable.
As long as
Megan
it's
and
not
I
icy.
quit at a marathon.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't icy. Last year it was just cold and windy. And
both of them.
we got to a marathon. We were like, no, this is it. This is done. We're done. I'm sorry.
We have no more goals.
This is the end.
Is this a 12-hour or 24? Is there both?
8. Just 8.
Just 8, okay.
Just 8 hours, yeah. So less than Linda and Steph's marathon.
Again.
Yeah.
just the worst thing imaginable for me.
Oh
Although I
my
will not be
God.
in Hawaii, I will be in Pennsauken, New Jersey, going around Cooper
Well, I
River.
mean, it was like 86 plus degrees out
It
while
was
they were
hot.
doing
Yeah.
that.
And
So I
humid.
can't even
Yeah.
imagine. Sorry, I'm calling you out, Linda and Steph. I just,
That's
you know,
a grind.
just was
That is a grind.
one of
Oh
those
my God.
things.
I don't know. Cooper River Park. It's a
It was gorgeous.
It's a wild place, man.
It is wild. There was a lot happening that night, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
that night
really
was zany. I feel like during the summertime, though, it's a little different than the winter. The
Yeah,
winter's
wintertime.
like super quiet.
Yeah, that one parking lot was just like there was a lot going on in that.
It was
parking lot.
happening. Speaking of Frosty Looper, that was the site of one of my goals for 2023.
Look at that transition, man.
Wow, look at
that.
And now, it's time for our Will Run 4 Goal Getters. Congrats on making your goals, you getters. Oh, you rest of shit.
All right.
I feel like Tom going to go further with that? No, that was one of Tom's goals. And so maybe we should talk about the rest of our goals for 2023 and how they went.
I always cut that stuff off when you guys say it anyway. I don't even know why you guys bother saying it anymore.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah,
Sometimes
most of the
you
time
leave
I
it.
do. No, that's true. That's true. It depends on how it flows.
I feel like you're going to have to leave it this time.
Nope. Yeah, so our goals. Yeah, this is our personal goal getters for this episode.
I think it was.
We went back and listened to the 2023
Well, Diana
episode.
and Michael definitely did.
Yes.
I
took notes.
She did.
Wow.
I'm looking at them right here. She took handwritten notes.
Did you take notes on my goals?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
I took notes on everybody's goals.
Oh, cool. Because I did not listen. I listen to our episodes as we go along. For the most part,
This is
sometimes
the first
I
episode
skip
I
around.
listened to in a year, so
I listened on the ride home.
I meant to listen on my way to work, and then I forgot.
I'll tell you what's helpful is how when you look at an episode, you look at the notes, it's broken up by chapters, and you can see the time. Because I just forwarded right to our goals and just listened to that little part of it.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
There's chapters. Yeah,
I
so you can go to the chapters.
I listened to I was going to skip ahead, and then I heard Bob, so I listened to all that, and then the goals, and then
That's funny.
So who wants to start? I think we dropped that goals episode on February 6th.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I mean, we
had already we did Dopey and all, so
yeah. Tom, you are the first to go. Do you want to be the first this year?
sure.
Do you remember what your goals were? Do you want to remind everyone, or do you want me to?
I remember exactly what my goals were.
All right.
I think the big goal for me, just the overall theme for this year, was to try new things.
yes.
And I really was like, I'm not going to repeat any races. And then I definitely repeated a bunch of races. But I had mentioned that I wanted to do a ultra marathon.
Yep.
And I think at that point I had signed up for Loopy Looper.
Yes.
And it was funny because we talked about how the year before I mentioned I wanted to do Loopy Looper, and you both were adamant that I shouldn't do that one. And then it was a party. So I accomplished that goal. I did Loopy
Where
Looper.
you ate a hot dog in the middle of the race.
Yeah. Well, I also, and I failed a little bit at that one because, like, while I did it, and I did definitely do an ultra, I should have gone out for a final loop. I had the time, and I just kept sitting there, and I'm like, you really need to get up
and drive
and just
home and all.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, my feet were trash anyways, and
Yeah,
like,
they were really bad.
I wasn't gonna.
No, that's right. Your feet were pretty bad.
I wasn't gonna get any better, so
I
I
don't understand why his feet get so bad. Like,
It's the walking. The walking does it because that's how mine were after
oh god.
Jersey Devil.
So yeah, so I did accomplish that goal, so I'm happy about that. I could definitely see myself doing another loopy, because now I know a lot about it.
Well, speaking of Loopy,
Oh yes,
we have
yes.
Leah Miller, who has committed to signing up for 2024,
Mm.
and Lisa Chiquita, has
coming out.
also committed to coming out for 2024. So apparently Michael and I will be there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
This is the problem with living locally and talking about this race all the time, because now people are coming in for it. So now I'm like, well, we can't not be there for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
people coming in.
So if people want to even get relay teams together, come join us.
Yeah. So maybe we could do that, Tom. Maybe we could do a relay.
I feel like a relay is more
I
manageable.
think it's more
It's not.
manageable.
Yeah. So
Because then you can sit there, have fun, go out on your loop,
You
come
take a
back, you
nap.
take a break, you take a nap. Yeah. By the way, we have cots now.
oh,
We have sleeping cots
Is-
we could bring.
is Sherpa Kurt going to be there because he was he was everything during that particular situation.
I will find out for you.
Maybe we
Alright.
can have him come over and shirtlessly take care of everybody.
All right. Well, now it's weird. All right. So accomplished that goal. I was happy about it. My feet were trash. Another goal that I had was I mentioned my friend Chris was going to do the Great Saunter in New York City,
Yep.
and I did that with him. It's a walking event out around the perimeter of New York City. Based on the construction, it turned out to be like 36 miles instead of 32 miles. And my feet were trash after that. Seems to be a theme. Although that happened before Loopy, so I don't know. I still hadn't figured it out. But glad I did it. He's really pressuring me into doing it again. I don't know that I want to do it again. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
But
I mean, when is it?
It was May, right?
we had like the perfect weather for it.
Yeah, so if you just keep going after Disneyland, you could continue to train
Yeah.
for
If
it.
you stay on the 10K steps a day thing and hit them most days, that'll kind of
Yeah.
get most of it for you, you know.
Yeah, I mean that'll definitely lead into
Like a-
getting before you
A
have
nice
to pick up
pace,
before you have to pick up some mileage.
And I
for-
don't know, build some calluses on your feet? Like, what happens?
Seriously.
Like, why?
It's terrible.
It's like the whole, and people don't realize
I know
it's like
the
whole
ball,
foot
the whole ball of
becomes
his
a
foot.
blister. I've
Yeah.
never seen
Oh, I
anything
know.
like it.
It
It's
is
bad,
so
yeah.
painful. But
That's literally what happened to me. Yeah.
it was kind of a surreal moment though, because Chris's wife is a foot doctor. She's a foot surgeon. And so like that night I'm back at his condo in Brooklyn, and like she's performing surgery on the bottoms of my feet so that I could
Oh,
physically
God.
walk to the train the next day.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
I don't know. It was cool, but I don't know if it's worth this right now. But but it was something new, something never done. So that was cool. What are my other goals?
You had the Chessie Challenge, Broad Street were on your list.
Yep.
Oh, you
You
did
did
both.
Broad Street, and that was a oof,
Did
that
both
was
Yeah,
a
those.
day.
you got both of them.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was,
The marathon.
Oh,
in Ocean
no.
City.
yeah, well, the Marathon Ocean City. But you just said Chessie Challenge. You said you didn't commit officially on goal getters to the Marathon in Ocean City.
No, I
You
didn't.
did
But
not.
yeah.
But you did say that you wanted to run more efficiently, incorporate
Yes.
speed work so that you felt better during your runs.
So they can't all be winners. Here's the thing. I did not.
I feel like you did for most of the year.
Some of it. I don't know. Like, and I don't want to use this as any kind of excuse. There's been a lot of stuff going on this year.
Mm.
Like some
No.
bad.
I mean, honestly,
So-
you can use those kinds of things as
Yeah, but
it's not an excuse.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to blame anything on anything because, I also had
No,
the
but life
opportunity.
is life.
I know. I also had the opportunity to just focus on running and kind of get out of my head, but I didn't really buckle down and do that. So, next year is
I
another
mean,
year, which is fine.
Listen, we tell our listeners all the time that plans are plans, but life is life. And sometimes things don't go as planned because life and family and the people that we love are more important than our goals at times.
It's
So sometimes you got to take care of what you've got to take care of. And you got to take that into account for not necessarily hitting your goals.
I mean, if I look back on 2023, it was like extreme highs and extreme lows. And there wasn't like an even Steven situation where I'm just going out on like a regular run every Saturday or Sunday. You know, like when we were in Dopey, we were pretty committed to getting all of those runs down. Well, you had to, but like we were very regimented, and I definitely fell off that wagon hard this year. Like,
which is funny because you're saying because you had to, but then you would also think that for like loopy, quote unquote, you would have to. But like, just like anything else, like you sometimes, I don't know, it doesn't. You still make it through, maybe not as well as you would have wanted to, but you hit your goals, even though life didn't quite take you in the same regimented fashion.
I'll take it. I'll take that. So yeah, that's kind of looking back. I said that I wasn't going to do like a bunch of stuff that I've done before, but then I ended up doing 2/3 of the B3 challenge because I'm inefficient that way. we did the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Run, which we've done before. You know, certain things popped up which we'd done before and we did again. So not 100% successful in my goals, but I'm fine with the year.
I think that even to say that you redid some races, I mean, everyone, like, especially local races, I kind of feel like that just kind of is what happens, right? Like, I don't know. It's hard to like, even like loopy. We keep saying we're not going to do it every year, but it's so hard because it's 3 miles away from our house. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like the Baltimore races for you guys, I just feel like it's kind of a natural extension to your like lifestyle.
Yeah, and I also
more than it is like I'm doing like a goal race or anything.
And it becomes like a social thing. It's like, well, everyone's going and doing that, and Tom actually does a pretty good job of sitting out and being like, "Oh, I'll meet you guys after, or I'll cheer." But sometimes it's, I'm just going to register because everybody's doing it, and then I can spend the day with everybody.
Yeah, I feel like that's just kind of a natural extension of like life and like being social and being in that area. Is you're going to do the local races.
It also removes an excuse, right? It's like, I know I want to get a run in today, but if everyone's doing this 12 miler, I'm going to do that race with them and get my miles in. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to end up doing that again next year, even if you say again, like, I'm going to try not to repeat races. I think it's just sort of a natural thing that happens.
I'm not going to do the Chessie challenge again. But I'm probably going to sign up for B3 again.
Okay.
Just because it's a good series of races and it's fun. It's a fun group of people. Yeah. So.
But what he'll do is he'll start registering for them all individually, and then do it the most expensive way that he can. I register for B3 while the race is going on because I want the cheapest price I can get because I do it every year.
Because if you know you're going to do it, then you might as well.
And I can always switch any of them to virtual right now because like they're still doing virtual options.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
there have been times that like when the cheapest option for a race is like, I don't know, under like $50 or around $50, I sign up and I'm sort of like, I don't want to waste $50. Nobody wants to waste $50, but at least if I sign up now, it's $50 versus if I have to wait and I end up signing up and it's now like $120 because I waited till like the most expensive price, then I'm just gonna be annoyed and not want to do it.
In general, one of my biggest pet peeves with this whole running thing is the fact that they do that crap. And I know why, because it makes complete sense, because you lock it in and you incentivize people to, come.
Well, yeah. And it makes it easier for them logistically. Like the more people they know are going to do it, they make sure they have enough medals and t-shirts and things like that. And then
you don't end up with the Philadelphia Marathon where they didn't have enough medals.
I still don't like it.
Because I don't know that we ever talked about that. Yeah, Philadelphia ran out of medals this year for that kind of reason.
I still don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I know that Rehoboth, because Kurt and Megan stopped by here the other day, and they were like, we were thinking about doing Rehoboth, and then it was like $200
Yeah.
to do because they waited till like the
last
couple
minute, yeah.
weeks before, and it was like
Still
the worst price.
for
$200 for a road marathon, not in a city, is like
where the roads are not even closed down.
absurd.
Yeah.
My God,
That's ridiculous.
I think that's how Greg ended up doing Loopy Looper, was because even when he looked at it in like October or whenever he signed up for Frosty, like it was just so expensive that he's like, I don't know if I can justify paying that price.
It's a
So,
lot. This
yeah.
is expensive, what we do.
Do it efficiently, Tom.
I read-
That's your goal for 2024.
Yeah.
Should be on the list. Well, and I told you guys, I've done B3 so many times. I'm one of the X number of people that have like the 8 button. So now I'm not stopping. I'm just
Well, now you
I'm-
have
I'm
to.
doing
Yeah,
it
it's like
forever.
it's like being a perfect
Mhm.
at like
Yeah,
the Disney
yeah.
races.
Same thing,
like it's the
yeah.
same concept. You got to keep going.
Agreed.
Do you want to go next and then feed the cats?
Yes, I will do that. So mine was pretty simple.
You talked a lot about rocking the knob.
Yeah, I didn't do that. So that was simple. There we go.
And
Did
Tom
not do
talked
rocking
about
the knob.
rocking the knob.
Yeah, there was a lot of rocking the knob talk. We did not go. So
Mm-mm.
And Michael
Apologies.
missed the lowest price for Rockin' the Knob, $50K, because they turned it into a $50K
yeah,
for next year.
and of course I didn't sign
And
up.
I
right
sent
away.
it to him that day, said, you said you really want to do this. Sign up today for the lowest price. And he didn't.
Yep.
Speaking of lowest prices.
Speaking of, all right. Anyway, so Jersey Devil obviously was my first goal. While I did DNF, I was very happy with everything I did that day, other than smashing
Your
the
toe.
heck out of my toe.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And running on
I
it
remember.
for 50 miles.
Oh my God. It
Oh, yeah.
was so, we should go back and find the pictures
It
that
was bad. It
I'm
was
pretty sure
really
that I had
bad.
to like X them
Yeah.
out for our episode art. They
That
were
toenail
really bad.
is black again.
It's
still
awful.
messed up.
It's so
Yeah.
bad right now.
You
Yeah,
need
it's
to go
still
see a
messed
up. I told-
podiatrist.
My friend Chris's
Diana,
wife
can
is
you
a
tell him?
podiatrist.
Can you tell him every
Should I do
day?
the Great Saunter so I can get my toe looked at?
You
Can you
should.
tell him every day for the next
Yeah.
until he goes? Can you text message him every day and
Uh.
say, "Have you seen the podiatrist yet? Have you made an appointment for the
Anyway, let me
podiatrist
finish
yet?"
my goals. So,
That should be on your
Your
list.
goal should be
Yeah.
to go to the podiatrist in
Jer-
2024.
Jersey Devil 100 was one of my goals. And while I did DNF, I was very happy. Everything went very well, other than the toe injury during the race.
Mm.
I fueled well, paced well, all that. And I avoided the rain in the end by DNFing. So, I mean, did I lose? I don't know. We'll see. And then Loopy was on there, which obviously we all know how that day went, but still loved Loopy. And I think that was all my only goals, really, and just to stay consistent, other than Rockin' the Knob, which we didn't do. But I didn't really have any goals other than, because I think just Jersey Devil kind of took up all my bandwidth, honestly.
You had a few really good like training blocks that you were
Yeah.
very consistent.
Through last winter, I was very, very, very consistent. And I kind of trailed off as the year went along.
Yeah, summertime you had another strong block,
I did.
and
yeah,
then after Loopy, I think you just sort of
after
coasted.
Loopy, I coasted. Yeah, I will admit. I think I just needed a mental break.
yeah.
It's weird. I feel like I've been doing low mileage, but then when I look, there's a lot of weeks where I'm still doing like 30 miles, and
Yes.
40 miles of riding, or 30 miles of riding.
I love Diana's reaction because it's always so offended.
Just because every week he's like, it's gonna be low mileage this week, and he's like, I went out and I did casually 17 miles.
The other day, he's like, I'm just going to go out for a few miles. I think it was like last weekend. I think he was like, I'm just going to do like some really short miles this weekend. I'm like, all right. So like the night before, I'm like, so what are you planning to do tomorrow? He's like, I don't know. I was thinking about like 10 to 12. I'm like, your definition of like, I'm just going to go out for a quick run at
Yeah.
low miles are very different than the entire rest of the world.
I
Yep.
did dial back after you said that because I have Frosty next week. So I was like, you know what? I should
Yep.
do that. I did 7.
I just,
There you go.
I did 7 and 6.
it's
There you
just
go.
hilarious the way.
The week before, I did like whatever 16 or 17 and 8 or something like that. I don't know.
I
forget
don't
what it
know.
was.
it's hilarious to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the week before I needed to get some longer miles in because it had been a little bit, and we didn't run while we were in Dublin and stuff.
Well,
so
we didn't have. Yeah, I mean that would have
the world's
been,
worst bed.
Oh my
and
God.
Yada yada yada.
God.
25,000 steps a day and all
Oh
that.
my God.
So, anyway, but yeah,
Yeah.
those
Why
are my
didn't we
goals.
start the challenge while I was in Dublin?
Yeah, you would have
Like
had plenty of
bajillion miles.
steps then. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. So that was my goals. I didn't have any. I don't think I had any other ones other than that kind of stuff.
Diana checks the notes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I listened. That was. All
I did
really
not.
had.
Am I the? I'm the only one that didn't listen.
You did mention something that was secret. That would. Everybody was talking about secrets last
I
year.
can't mention. No. But there's a
Oh.
reason.
Okay.
I can say it now, but it's not going to be on the show. So secret is on hold, and nobody will know about it until it happens. Sorry, everyone. It's a future goal. I'm going to go feed the cats.
I think I was super okay. So I did not listen to the episode. I'm the only one I think that didn't listen to what my previous goals were. But I feel like
did
my
really well.
goals were to like not have goals.
Yeah. So, Erin, this is what you said. One of the things you said is that you were going, and this is why I said that there were lots of secrets, that you were not going to announce certain things that you were going to do, and that you were just going to pop up places. One of the things that you said was that you were going to stop comparing myself to who I used to be, that you're not thinking about what's next constantly and thinking about what's going on right now, listening to your body more, not pushing yourself into stuff you're not ready for, doing more with strength training and nutrition. You and Michael were not eating sugar at the time, but
That was stupid. That didn't last long because I'm now currently a cookie monster.
But you were saying that you were in. I don't even think you mentioned your running coach or anything like that yet. You hadn't even gotten that far.
No,
that
I
you
hadn't even
were
gotten the
just
coach.
going
Yeah.
to, just slowly bring yourself into it because you got so burnt out
Yeah.
that you had overcommitted and gotten disappointed.
Yeah, and I think that I'm going to carry that like through is that I think that I don't know, like I dropped New York because I wasn't ready. I think that I just need to continue to listen to like what I feel like doing, and like maybe I think that I just might be over the phase of running for right now anyway, of like needing a goal. Like I just kind of want to move my body for me. So I don't know, those things aren't as, I don't know. I think it's just because I spend so much time frustrated, and even now I still get frustrated that nothing's ever exactly what, like I don't want an expectation. And so I think that that's sort of what I've tried to let go this year, is like the expectation of having to do things because, and I think I've said it, like, I think even Tom, when Tom dropped the marathon distance, like we do these things, even especially on the podcast, because we say we're going to do them, or friends do things because they say, like, we've seen other friends do it where like, I want to post it on social media, but like, what does that, like, what, I don't know. Like we live in a social media world, and this world of like, we're on this podcast, so we're going to do these things we said we committed ourselves to. And sometimes that's great for accountability, but other times you just got to listen to like your body and your heart and like what you feel like doing. And so I think that's just the lesson for my entire year.
Yeah.
And continues to like sort of be where I'm at.
Yeah, and I think when I was re-listening, I was like, this is something that you actually accomplished this year. Not to say that you were never frustrated or anything like that with your progress, but it just seemed like you were able to really kind of let go and do, what you wanted to do and kind of take control back.
Yeah, and so I think that that's sort of, I mean, I did pop up some places, like I did a few half marathons without like, I sort of kept training on my own. So I did the York half marathon and that North Carolina half marathon without like really saying that I was going to do it. I don't know. What else did I do? I don't remember. I did get my medal from Diana for the Susquehanna virtual treadmill run that I ran.
It was funny when I picked those up. She's like, "How many did you need?" I was like,
Oops. So thank you for sending them to me. I should have taken a picture of it and did a Medal Monday, but then I am bad at social media, so I didn't do that. But yeah, I mean, I think I made like small goals for myself along the way of like, okay, this race is coming up. Maybe I'll add that to my calendar and see how I feel. And if I'm not feeling it, then I won't do it. And I think that even with New York was a little different because it was a little bit of a bigger money ticket item. But I still feel like if you're not feeling like doing something or if it's not speaking to you, then like, why do it?
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of like owning your schedule rather than letting your schedule own you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yay me.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
I love it. I was kind of along the same trajectory, or I don't know, for my goals, where I was talking more about overall wellness last year and how I was feeling really, really burnt out after dopey training.
Well, dopey.
Yeah. Yep.
And that I was scared that I hadn't quite gotten burnt out yet, but I was almost there. So I said that I was going to scale back my running and only run 2 or 3 days a week and increase my cross training and strength training, which I think I did. I really amped up my Peloton riding this year.
That's true.
So I did that. Strength I can always do better at. When I'm consistent, I'm consistent. When I'm not, I'm really not. So the strength was one thing. I did have a goal of drinking more water, which I did not do. So that is going to move.
I feel like we have that goal regularly.
That's a theme. Yeah.
It's just, it was so much better. And I will not go back to an office. But it was nice that when I was in an office, I had kind of a water buddy who sat next to me. And it would kind of dictate how often we were getting up and refilling our water bottle.
Yeah.
So we wanted to like catch up with each other. So,
which is weird because there's always vessels of liquid strewn around the house. Like it's the end of
5 drinks right
like
now.
it's the end of signs.
The water hasn't been touched. Water has not been touched. So that was one of my goals. I also wanted to work on my mental health, which I think I really did this year.
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling a lot of anxiety and depression last year, and not that that has totally gone away. But I thought I started therapy, which is really helpful. I got medicated, which has also helped me. But I think actually therapy helped even before I got medicated because I was learning kind of tricks and skill. I don't want to say tips and tricks. That's just, I'm in a trainer word, so I always go immediately to tips and tricks. But just kind of like more skills on how to like manage my day. And I was talking about how I was getting anxiety and why I was getting anxiety and talking about how I structured my day. And my therapist would be like, I don't understand why you're scheduling your day like that when that's not how you naturally want to work. So like some of the things I was like setting myself up with for failure because I was kind of scheduling my day on the way it was like I thought I was supposed to schedule my day, and that forcing myself to do that was going to magically make something happen where it just made everything worse. So that
you were trying to be neurotypical when you are not neurotypical.
Yes. She's like, I don't know why you're scheduling all this stuff to do in the morning where you don't like mornings and your brain doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Because I don't.
No,
want
I mean it's true. I think that's sort of like, yeah. I think that's sort of generally a definitely you are living in a neurotypical world trying to fit yourself into that what like you thought was you were supposed to do versus what your brain naturally is strongest at.
Yep.
So getting that advice was probably some of the best advice you could get.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually think like a lot of that has really helped put me in a better place this year. The other thing is I talked about how cranky I had been. I didn't want to be cranky anymore, which I don't know, maybe.
Tom, should we ask Tom about whether you hit that goal?
But I did say that I wanted to just
Tom's quiet.
not let things get to me as bad. So I've been trying, especially with like social media, to just not be on it as much. I said I wanted to get in less internet fights, which I actually did this year.
That's true.
I have been. So I've been better, and I haven't been like doom scrolling as much. I've been trying to keep like my FYP on TikTok fun and not crazy. Yeah, and I'm trying to think. I can't even remember the last internet fight I got in. So that's good. Oh, it was with the marathon investigator.
I was about to say, I
decided he wasn't going to investigate marathons. He was going to become the moral police.
God.
All right.
But that was the only thing. But that was like the only thing I can think of in the last like few months. So, yeah, I think overall I did better. Right now, I'm in a very good place mentally. So I don't know. I'm just feeling better. And I don't know. I put a lot of weight on this dog. I always make that joke that my very fragile mental health is resting on that dog. So
I mean, in all honesty, the way that last year kind of came to a close with losing Archie and then bringing in another dog, like he has done his job. Like he's done wonders.
I feel like that people always talk about like animals in general, like when you lose one, like what's too soon. To me, there's no such thing as too soon for you to bring, because loving another animal can heal the part of you like that's hurting from the loss of the other animal. So like, I don't know. To me, there's no such thing as too soon. So I'm glad you got Indy when you did.
I mean, to each their own, but like we've also incorporated him in a lot of our social, like we have really tried to take him out take him with us as many places as we can. And, we build plans around him and that whole thing. So,
I don't know. I have dogs that come to work with me. So like, obviously my mental health is based around animals as well.
Yeah. It's very...
Hey.
Yeah. And he's naughty.
He is naughty.
So what is, I'm going to ask questions, to end our year end. What is the greatest lesson that you have learned this year from your running and training? I'm putting everyone on the spot. I didn't prepare anyone for that lesson.
I mean, I would say
maybe not like from running or training, but from like your overall goals and whether or not you accomplished them. What do you feel like your lesson, your year-end lesson would be?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and I think I've said this before, that there's like a fine line between pushing yourself and burning yourself out, and to figure out what that is for you, and realize when you're about to hit burnout, and it's better to pull yourself back, and kind of reignite that fire, whether it's back for running or whether it's something else. For me, when I get really consistent with something, it doesn't matter if it's running or not, it really energizes me. So if I have like a good schedule going and I'm like, okay, Tuesday, Thursdays, I'm doing this, and Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, I'm doing that. It's really motivating for me. to have kind of different things going on, but I'm working out and that's being consistent. I think me pulling back from running a little bit this year, not that I didn't, I love running and I don't want to stop running. But it definitely became less of my personality this year. And I'm really excited from my upcoming races. And I'm energized about kind of everything that I do. I haven't really dreaded anything this year other than the Bay Bridge run, which I'm not doing again.
It's actually funny that you said making running your personality, because I think that was something that I just had a conversation with, and I'm going to call her out on this, with Melissa, about where we were saying that, like, what happens when you make running your personality and then suddenly you don't really want to be running anymore? Like, how do you, like, what happens to your personality then? Like, what do you become? And because I think one of the things that you even said, like, you figuring out the fine line between like what is right for you, because sometimes like there's people who can run 6 days a week and be totally cool, but there's some people who can't do that. Like they need like every other day to be able to run, because otherwise they're burnt out. Like finding what's right for you is definitely important. So I like that lesson,
because you want to like push yourself and challenge yourself, right? But not to the point where you're in constant misery, and not like normal training cycle misery, just like a constant state of misery, which I think we've all been in when it comes to running. And I don't know where that line is. It's imaginary, but it exists.
And I think it shifts and changes though. Like, I think that's the other thing. Like there are times when like you're super into something, and then the next season, your lines have kind of changed and your priorities sort of changed.
Yep.
Tom, do you have any great lessons for or wisdom from your 2023 training?
Like there's something I'm noodling around, like an idea about like making sure that you learn lessons from your running, and like, because I feel like I did the saunter and I destroyed my feet, and then I did loopy and I destroyed my feet, and I'm like, was there a lesson that I didn't pay attention to from one to the next, right?
Was it training?
I don't know that it was training. I think it was maybe my shoes weren't the best. Like maybe I had wide shoes and there was too much room in the toe box, so my feet were moving too much, right?
Yeah,
that will.
Or like
that'll definitely do it.
Or like my feet got too wet, or not enough. Not enough
Lube?
like body glide or whatever. Like I don't know. It's
Lube
just,
it up, Tom.
Lube it up. Like it's just, making sure that you are paying attention to the lessons that you're learning so that you can improve on the next experience, I think.
I just got this vision of Tom, and you know that episode of Friends where Ross is in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
And he can't get the leather pants back up.
yeah.
And he's like,
yes.
The powder and the lotion have made a paste. That's what I feel like Tom needs in his shoe, because it's both too wet and too dry. I don't understand what happens. Like, he needs both powder and...
Oh, my God.
And
Michael,
squirrel's
do you
nut
have
butter.
do you have any lessons or anything that you feel like you've learned through this year?
I feel like I learned a lesson and then threw it out the window at Loopy. But I'm okay with it, because sometimes my lesson is, in training, slow and easy is best. Just even if you miss out on, like, I'd rather err on the side of slow and easy and walking and things like that now, rather than pushing too hard.
Yeah.
I will do that long before I will push too hard again. Because I think I used to push too hard in the past in training.
Well, I mean, it's easy to do. Even like this past weekend, I was thinking, oh no, like I'm missing a run this week. I'm trying to rest because my hip was feeling weird. And then I started feeling that, I feel a little guilty. I've got a race in January. And I just said, well, I'd rather feel better in January than push myself, now.
And during races, I mean, I should have like I learned a lot from what is it called, Jersey Devil, by doing things right. Even though, like, obviously the injury, there's nothing I could do there. It is what it is. But then I did not take that lesson to Loopy. I decided to go for it. But I don't really regret that, because I think sometimes you do just have to kind of go for it and see what will happen. Like, I don't know, what did I really lose? I mean, it was a miserable night, but other than that, I think the big issue there was my stomach was a disaster for
Oh my
Loopy.
God,
Yeah.
yes.
So, but like, I don't regret going out pretty hard, because like, what if I didn't go out hard, but then I made it through the night, but I didn't really hit a goal that I wanted? Like, was it?
Yeah. The thing about Loopy was so weird, because you were like, I don't think I really have a goal. And then
Oh my God.
I don't know, 'cause
Diana
I think this was the
besides
first-
herself the first, like
I-
that first loop when you first came back through and you
I-
barely said anything. You like threw something at us and then you left. Diana was like,
I was like, is this
what is
normal? I
happening?
don't think I've ever, like, because that was, I think, my first time, like, seeing you at a race like this. And I was like, is this, like, are they in here and
I was
out of
like,
here that
no,
quick?
Like,
Like,
what is
what? I was like, is this, like, do I have to be, like, ready to, like,
God.
like, just
No.
shove food in his mouth, like, as he's running? Like, what do we have to prepare
No.
for?
So weird.
And then you
So
were like, he's
weird.
going really fast. And I was like, faster than he thought? You were like, absolutely. He is way
Like, I
faster
have
than
no
he
idea
planned.
what is happening right now.
Yeah, that was too fast for the weather. But
good.
no, I don't regret it though, because I was like, I pushed the limit to see where I could go, and then it blew me up. But it is what it is.
Well,
I think that's part of a race like that, though. You want to kind of see.
So what lesson have you learned that you'll take into the next year?
Don't set up a
like I
tent next to a bunch of bros that.
Yes, yeah. Watch the lessons from Jersey Devil, the training and the fueling, because the training was very, very consistent and mostly very easy, and I stuck to a plan and stayed with it the entire time until like my foot physically couldn't anymore.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing for races like that.
Yeah.
Other things are different.
All right.
Different goals, different days.
Nice. I like it. Do I have any lessons?
My other lesson is don't smash my toe anymore.
Okay. That's a good lesson as well. I think just my overall lesson is exactly what my goal was. And it's to just take it sort of as it comes and not overcommit myself to the social media life where I sign up for something and then do it because I said I was going to do it.
I think it's a good lesson.
I think that I'm going to continue trying to just run for myself and not for other people, not because other people are going to be there, not for FOMO. I think that's the hardest part sometimes, right? Because like when I started running, that was what kept me motivated and kept me running, was like always doing whatever the next crazy thing that everyone else was doing, or the next big race everyone else was doing. And so like saying no to something like New York was really hard, but like I also know that it was the correct decision for me. And you know what? I think overall, I think that we said this even after Dopey, there was a lot of people that DNF'd in our lives. I've seen other people DNF throughout the year. I know that Mal had a big one at Marine Corps Marathon. And I think that that's a lesson also, like that it's okay to say no or enough, like without shame, and to embrace the DNS, to embrace the DNF. And I think that's a great lesson also.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm good with DNFs. Sometimes they happen.
Yeah,
really. It's not the end of the world.
Well, especially if you're like pushing limits. Like,
I think it coincides with what Diana even was talking about, with like knowing when you're pushing yourself too hard and burning yourself out versus like knowing when it's right to push yourself to that limit. Like there's that fine line of that. And that's true in training, and that's true in the actual race day.
Yes.
So that's our words of wisdom for 2023. As Indy cries his way into the end of the year. Michael.
Yeah.
You asked us a question earlier today.
Yeah.
What was your question?
Well, first I had no idea what we were doing tonight, obviously, as we established earlier, and people probably don't know. Second,
because you're going to cut it all out.
yeah. Second, I thought it's holiday season, so we should do our 3 favorite songs, 3 favorite specials, and 3 favorite movies.
So I have a question about this, right?
Yeah.
So things that I consider movies
Wait, what?
Things that I consider movies.
Movies are movies. Like, what do
No,
you consider?
like-
a
Yes, there's a
movie?
clear. I don't know what
No,
the differential is.
like-
But there's a differential between a
like
Christmas
the
special and a
Grinch-
Christmas movie.
The Grinch That Stole Christmas
As a special.
It's a
was
special.
considered a special, right?
But
Yeah.
the Jim Carrey movie
Is
How the Grinch
considered
Stole
a-
Christmas.
It's a movie.
Is a movie.
Yeah.
So like that. Well, that's. I just want to make sure.
There's
Like
also a
so,
book.
we're like differentiating this correctly.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, who's going to name that Jim Carrey thing? There's only one Grinch.
well, I'm just saying the Grinch. We are considering that a special, not
Yeah.
a movie.
And I would submit that for the Grinch, there is 1 special and 2 movies.
Yes, because Benedict Cumberbatch, Cumber, whatever his last name is had his own movie
I would
as well.
say there's just 1 special.
Get out of here. All versions are legitimate and good. The Benedict Cumberbatch one is the best, and I'm standing by that. That's my favorite.
I only recognize They're All Ravens Law or
And
whatever
Boris
his name
Karloff.
was. Yeah.
I enjoy the Benedict one as well.
I've never seen it. I don't
Okay,
even
so
think
I
I've seen
just
it.
like Charlie Brown, like all those things,
They're
like
specials.
they're all considered specials, right?
Yes,
Okay.
They were CBS specials.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I'm fully off the cuff with all of these.
Get it, Tom.
That's fine.
One of the greatest Christmas-related songs of all time.
Why is it Christmas related?
I was wondering.
Christmas or holiday?
No, it's Christmas.
Okay.
Can be heard in the mid-90s in any Aeropostale, and it's called Christmas Time by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh.
I love that song.
Okay.
Okay. I don't remember that one.
Well, if you travel to the 90s
I
and
lived-
go retail shopping at an Aeropostale,
Yeah.
or probably an Eddie Bauer, if you will.
If I heard it, I probably would remember it.
But yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's unique, and it's Billy Corgan and the gang,
Did you
and
see
it
Billy Corgan in that promo for like the Disney Channel?
We watched it. It was
Oh,
Right.
yes.
It was
yes,
weird.
we watched
Yeah,
it. We
it was
watched the
holiday special.
and I assume that
We
he'll
haven't
be on the
watched it.
Christmas one too.
He's
Because
on
usually
both. Yeah, they're on
they do.
both. Yeah.
Usually they film both at the same time. So he was on the November Thanksgiving weekend one. So we assume he'll be at the Christmas parade as well.
Oh, my
well, I hope he
God.
sings Christmas Time because I love that song by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Are we just doing movies first or songs first and then go
Are we
Yeah.
doing 1, 2,
Yeah.
3?
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
we're just
No,
all
we
doing
don't have
songs right now.
Yeah, we're just doing songs.
I'll offer
So
one up.
can
Go ahead,
we,
go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with Bare Naked Ladies. Their version of what's it called? God Rest Ye
Married
Merry
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen is like
I do remember
one
that.
of my favorite
Yeah.
versions of
That
of
might be the whitest thing you've ever said.
It probably is, but
That was my dad's
enjoy,
favorite
True.
Christmas album.
I actually enjoy that
I actually
that
like
song.
Bare Naked Ladies a little bit. I gotta admit.
So far, we're very TRL.
Oh.
I am definitely not going to
No.
be. So we'll.
I would say, "Have Yourself a Very Merry Little Christmas" is my all-time favorite Christmas song, and I like it when the original where Judy sings it in "Meet Me in St. Louis."
That's an
Mm.
excellent one. I will tell you that.
Wow.
Also, I am choosing "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" because it is probably my favorite. But I am choosing the Joshua James version.
I don't know
From-
who that man is.
He's a folk singer. From
I
Fields and
apologize to
Flood.
this man.
It's a very somber,
See, I don't like somber
sad,
Christmas music.
heartbreaking.
I do.
I
version.
don't like
It's-
somber
yeah.
Christmas music. I
I
like
like somber.
I like
I
jolly
like a mix,
music.
actually. I like a mix, but yeah. So have
I
yourself
can name some of the most depressing ones, but we're not here for that.
most depressing
What's that
is
Christmas
Dominic the
shoes
donkey.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas shoes.
I only heard about what's the Christmas shoes one? Yeah, Christmas shoes. I only heard of that last year when you guys brought it up.
Oh
What?
my
There's
God,
a
it's
movie
so
with Rob Lowe.
bad.
Oh God.
So bad. Is that why we brought it up? Is that
Yes,
what we're
I
talking
I think that's
about?
why.
I know, it
Yeah,
was so
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
It was bad. Yeah.
Oh God.
All right, Tom, your next one.
There's so many good ones. I'm gonna go with one that I forget where we were. Me and Diana were driving somewhere on like the Eastern Shore. Maybe we were going to get beer somewhere. And the song called Senor Santa came on. Senor Santa, bring me a toy.
It's to Mr. Sandman.
It's basically Mr. Sandman, but it's Senor Santa.
Oh.
And it's hysterical, and I love it. And I don't really know who sings it. I'm trying to look it up. Hold on. I was not prepared, and I had all day to prepare.
He was in a music app, but not looking at this.
Not
The whole
looking
time
at
he's
that.
talking.
E La Bamba.
Oh, I
E La Bamba, Senor Santa, or
Yeah.
in parentheses, Mr. Santa.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I love that song.
Very strange pick. I've never heard it. I'm going to have to go listen to it. So this one, it brings up memories of growing up very much so. It is the Bing Crosby and David Bowie version of Little Drummer Boy.
I would choose that, but I hate that song so much.
Oh, really?
I don't mind those two doing it, but honestly, Little Drummer Boy, I would like to burn every copy of it ever made.
Oh, I love. So, I mean, and I'm not like a religious person, but like that song, like it definitely invokes like a nostalgic memory of like
That one.
young, like, and their version of it, just the softness of it with the like rumpa pump bump in the back.
I always like the
background.
video.
I just,
of, him walking in.
It's one of my favorites.
My mom says she remembers watching that live. Like it was on TV. It was on like a primetime TV special.
Yeah, well,
yeah, my dad always talked about that too. So I think
Yeah.
that's part of it. Is like it's that nostalgia of that.
Understandable.
And this is probably controversial, but I don't work retail anymore, so I don't care. Wonderful Christmas Time is like
That's a good one. Yeah.
Having a wonderful Christmas.
Yeah,
it's the greatest.
I like that one.
I also like it because it sounds like witches are having a meeting and then they get interrupted. So
Yes.
My next one is from the UK glam band Slade, and it's Merry Christmas, Everybody. I believe this song is much bigger in the UK than it is in the US, but I love Slade, and I love this song.
it was it's on several of the British Peloton riders instructors holiday rides and workouts.
It's definitely much bigger in the UK, but yeah. Slade is awesome, and that song is awesome. It's a very fun, upbeat, 70s glam song.
God, I want to do something stupid like say there's like an 8-way tie for the third one. But I guess if I have to pick one, I want to say the Christmas song by Dave Matthews, but I'm not going to. I love there's a duet by Ingrid Michaelson and Zooey Deschanel called Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Ooh.
And the way that they both go back and forth on that one, I love that song. There's so many good ones, but
There are so many good ones, and I think my brain's going to a lot of the like more classic versions of things. But yeah, there are definitely like some really good soft versions of like, people like doing covers and stuff, and like, or even just their own original stuff that like I know my brain can't think about right now.
Also, fun fact, I was this year's old when Diana told me, the more famous version of Santa Baby?
Yeah.
Madonna does that?
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't do the most famous version
Or-
of it.
She definitely doesn't do the most famous version.
Anywho.
But the version he knows is Madonna.
I don't think I've ever
And
heard
I
the
didn't think it
Madonna
was
version.
her at all. Anyways, that's a tangent. I apologize, but so those are my three.
Okay.
I didn't know she did a version. Well, I mean,
It's on
I
it's
assume.
on one of those what's that artist that does the stick figures? Remember they did have those and they were like red and green albums
Yes.
and they're like compilations.
Yeah, yeah. Very
She's
special
on that.
Christmas or something like that.
Sorry.
The
All right.
first one was the one Christmas in Hollis was on.
Yes.
God, my brain can't think of because I
Which
did
is a
not
great song
prepare.
that I did not
So good.
I did not prepare for this. So like I'm going through all like the classics for the most part of my brain. And I always come back to as overplayed as this song gets, I still love The Waitresses for some
That's a
reason.
good one.
The Christmas
Christmas
rapping is
rapping.
like just like I always wait to hear that song at least once a year I always want to hear that song.
That's always a good one. I like that one when I'm in the car.
I think like it's just like it's a good like jolly like I don't know like just I don't know.
So fun. Well, I was going to do NSYNC Merry Christmas Happy Holidays, but we're slightly mad at Justin right now. So I'm going with the Queen Britney
I do
Jean
like that one.
Spears.
Okay.
My Only Wish This Year. So good. So great. It's 90s and magnificent. So one of my favorites. Also,
I do also really like the NSYNC that NSYNC song. That's a really good one.
It's really
Bunch
good.
of millennials.
It's
Yeah.
on
They
it's
are,
on the end
definitely.
of I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jessica Biel and JTT.
And I've been doing a ton of Peloton holiday. That's
it's on all of
basically
them.
my entire stacks at this point is they have to be holiday because I did the
Yep.
holiday yoga this morning. I did holiday.
Oh, God.
I'm just
Yep.
doing all the holiday.
I've been doing it
everything
since
at this
November
point.
1st.
So I have listened to a lot of that song.
Yep. And this technically is not a Christmas song, but What Are You Doing New Year's Eve is also in
Good
know,
holiday
my
song,
top
though.
holiday favorite
That's it.
songs.
That is an excellent one, too. I'm going to go with the Christmas song, Vince Guaraldi Trio from the Charlie Brown Christmas, of course. Really everything from that is perfect. So
I maintain that. Also, here's the hill I will die on. Linus and Lucy is not a Christmas song just because it's the opening to Charlie Brown. It
That's
doesn't
fair.
count.
There's tons of Christmas music in the special. Yeah.
Where like they don't need to be playing Linus and Lucy on like the Christmas stations. It's super weird.
Did we all do 3 songs?
Yes.
I'm surprised Michael didn't do, and I don't know why. I feel like he would be into this. Maybe it's because it's Dwight vibes, but there was no Trans-Siberian Orchestra on that.
I despise them.
I was like, it's going to go one way or the other. It's going to be very into it or he hates it.
Them and what's the other one? Mannheim or whatever?
Mannheim Steamroller.
They're both the worst thing that's ever happened to humanity.
Oh, God.
So extreme.
I knew it was going to be one way or the other. I just didn't know which way it was going to go.
Let's keep rolling. We still got all this feedback. Let's go.
What are you doing next, Michael?
Tom, what's
Let's do specials.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we'll move up.
If someone takes mine, I'm gonna be mad.
We'll move up in length.
So I can go first?
Yes.
Sure.
The Claymation special with the California Raisins.
Yep. It's a good one.
With what?
The California Raisins Claymation.
Claymation Christmas special?
I don't remember that.
From the 80s?
That surprises me that you don't know that.
Vaguely remember that.
That was my jam.
So I'm trying to figure out whether Emmett Otter was I think it was an
HBO
TV special, right?
Yeah,
yes. So I'm going with Emmett Otter as my first so that no one steals it from me because that is my absolute favorite. And I can't wait to watch it. And I can't believe we actually haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it is the best one. It is a great special.
Let me cross that off my list. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. It's so good.
It's the best. It's so hard to not pick that one. It's like my favorite.
It's the annual time when everything we watch is a retelling of the Gift of the Magi, and I don't realize it until Diana has to point it out to me every single time.
Oh my God.
We saw Emmett Otter. They released it in the theater for whatever anniversary. It was a couple of years ago. It was like a Sunday afternoon, and it was us and like 2 other people in the entire theater.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
It was like,
It's
why are
delightful.
people here?
Come on, Ma.
So good. I'm going to go with, because we just watched this again over the weekend. It is, and I don't know the exact name of it. I think it's Olaf's Frozen Adventure, but it's the Frozen Christmas special.
That's
and I literally hard sob every time I watch it, because Olaf is their tradition, and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like Michael's never seen it.
I think I did see it.
Okay.
Actually. I will do Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. The ultimate classic.
Since I went kind of obscure with the music, I'm going to go classic, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Nobody wants a Charlie in the box.
It's so problematic. There's problematic parts, the parenting and the just the adulting by the adults in the room could get better in that special. When he says, "Quit calling me names," I die a little bit every single time he says that.
So cute.
I'm going to stay in the same realm, because I feel like every year, was it on CBS when they played Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? They played Frosty the Snowman. So got to go with Frosty, because those were always my favorite time of year, is when they played all of those classic specials. So Frosty the Snowman's up there too.
Nice.
That's a great one.
I'm going to go with another Rankin and Bass, but a more obscure one. And one that Tom was just so offended at when I made him watch it. It's a short story by Frank L. Baum, who wrote The Wizard of Oz, called The Life and Adventure of Santa Claus.
Oh,
and it's
so
literally
weird.
From the 80s, and it's the most insane retelling of a Santa Claus story I've ever heard.
Oh, man.
There's like woodland fairies and monsters that live in caves that steal the presents, and we watch it every year. And Tom was so he had no idea what he was watching. He had so many questions. He actually bought me the book one year for Christmas, and it was wrapped under the tree.
It's true.
Well, my last 2 were already taken, so I'll name them now, and that was Rudolph and Emmett Otter. So
probably not my favorite, but one that's pretty good, and it's fairly recent, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas
special.
Yeah,
where they abduct Kevin Bacon.
It's so cute.
Yes.
That was pretty clever. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not classic. It's not,
I like that one.
But,
but it could be someday for people who saw it,
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't become classic till time.
And it's got the song. Who's it? The old 97s are in it?
Yeah.
I'm kind of like scrolling and then I'm realizing that because we don't have TV on here. TV, like every TV show has like that like special episode, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And like one of my absolute favorites in recent times, and I didn't see this anywhere yet, but my recent favorite Christmas TV was the Ted Lasso Christmas special.
Oh, I
that
forgot
standalone episode that it was like a bubble episode that they had. Because they added an extra episodes to that season and they didn't know what to do. So they did like 2 bubble episodes, and that one was one of them. And I absolutely loved that episode. It was like one of those really good, feel good episodes. Yeah. And I didn't really think about that, but there's a lot of TV specials. You could probably go with like every single Doctor Who Christmas special.
There's a ton of great Doctor Who Christmas specials. Yeah, the Snowman.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with the Ted Lasso because that's a recent one, and Tom just went recent, and so
that's a really good one.
Yeah,
Tom and I like every year, like MeTV shows like the holiday episodes. So like they show like the Brady Bunch one where she loses her voice and she's
the classic. There's some like real classic like Christmas TV
Lucy,
episodes.
Yeah, all those.
Or the Bradys when they came back.
From the 80s? That movie's a fever dream.
Mike got stuck in the building that collapsed that he designed.
I described that movie to people and they're like, that's not real.
It then kicked off the television show The Brady Brides.
Oh my God.
That.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Peter, or no, what's the little one? Wants to be a race car driver.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
And Cindy
Mike
wants to
Lookinland. I
quit
can't remember his
school
name.
or something.
Yeah.
Or
Fantastic.
But it was a different
Yep.
Cindy, right? They brought in somebody else to play Cindy.
I don't know.
believe.
She was hot though.
Yeah.
She was like 80s with like Farrah Fawcett hair and huge boobs.
Now we have to watch it.
You don't watch that? I watch
No,
that
I
every
don't know what you-
year. Is it so weird? There are certain ones I watch where I like don't include him, and I watch him in like the middle of the day when I work from home.
Along the lines of the television specials, though, there is one that really takes a turn.
Oh
If you're familiar with Alf,
my God.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah.
We talked about
Yeah.
this before.
there's like Alf somehow makes his way into a hospital at the Christmas time, and he meets a kid, and the kid is terminally ill, and he like makes a wish, and like Alf's trying to help him, and then like the episode ends, and then there's like a scroll at the end of the episode, and it was based on a real kid.
It was the real kid. It was the kids
Yeah.
Make a Wish.
It was
to
the
be
kids
an
Make a
an
Wish?
Elf.
Oh,
Yeah.
9-year-old
man.
son
Wow.
from the Midwest suffering from leukemia, eager to have a face-to-face conversation with Alf.
Wow. That's
It
wild.
was horrible. I DVR'd it, and I was like, "This is going to be a romp." And then
We're like, it's gonna be
our
it's gonna be
jaws were on the floor.
it's gonna be
Heartbroken.
kooky old Alf chasing
Oh
cats around a
my
hospital,
God.
and it is not that.
It is definitely not that. Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh God,
That's intense.
All
it
right.
was super intense. But I do want to shout out the Muppet Family Christmas, which
Oh,
might be the greatest special of
That's
all time.
a good one.
Because the Fraggles are in it, the Sesame Street Gang's in it. Watch it for the Icy Patch. You can watch it on YouTube. I have a copy that I bought at Walmart in a DVD bin like 10 years ago that I hold on to for dear life because you can't buy it anywhere anymore. That and the Christmas toy, which is also a Jim Henson classic.
All right. So now we're on to movies.
The correct answer is The Muppet Christmas Carol. It's the greatest
Well,
Christmas
yes.
movie of all time.
That is great.
That is
actually.
on my list for sure.
And we watched it. I mean, I watched it several times throughout the Christmas season, but that's my must watch on Christmas Eve.
I'm gonna lead off with one of my favorites, Scrooged.
Oh, I love that movie. Michael says
Bill
he still
Murray.
hasn't seen that movie.
What?
I think I saw most of it.
Oh, I
maybe.
thought you said you hadn't.
No, I said I saw parts of it. I don't know if I ever saw the whole thing, actually.
A classic Christmas Story is I
that's
always
good.
had to watch. That
Yeah.
was an always must watch for me growing up. I wouldn't say it's as much of as a must now, and I'll name a couple of my musts in a minute. But that's when I think of nostalgia. I always think of
24
that movie
hours
for
of a
sure.
Christmas
yes,
Story.
yep. That's
It still
that
holds
is
up.
that's still my most nostalgic Christmas movie.
It's
I
still
would say.
funny.
Yeah.
I say Christmas Story over Home Alone, which is controversial, I'm sure.
Oh,
No,
hot
Yeah.
Home
take.
Alone is near the bottom of my list.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it
But
was
that is,
okay.
I
It
feel
was
like
funny
that
when
is
it came out,
controversial
but,
because I feel
don't
like
know.
everyone has to watch Home Alone on like Thanksgiving
I don't think
Day
I've
or
seen
like
it for,
whatever.
30
Like that
years.
because like that's like a big thing because it always played, I think, on ABC or one of those channels on Thanksgiving night. And so it's like a Thanksgiving night tradition for a lot of people.
Gotcha.
It was
So-
a big movie for us as kids, but I never remember it being a Christmas movie. And I know now watching back, it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I never considered it a Christmas
Yeah, and I don't
movie.
know whether, like, for whatever reason, because that's the right age for me, for sure. But I, for whatever reason, associate A Christmas Story with the nostalgia way more than I
Yeah.
associate
Yeah.
Home Alone.
I think Home Alone 2 is more of a Christmas movie than the first one in my brain. And I do remember my brother got that Talk Boy for Christmas one year. You know that like recorder he has? He got that under the tree.
Okay.
Oh my God.
What's yours, Diana?
Muppet Christmas Carol was mine.
Oh,
So
that's right.
I'm going to do a shop around the corner.
Oh, we did.
It's a new tradition.
Yeah. We saw that in Dublin. It was very good. We
In
enjoyed
a
that a lot. Jimmy
Beautiful
Stewart. Yep.
100-year-old
Stewart.
theater.
Yeah.
Just an amazing theater.
Yeah.
And just Yeah.
It's fantastic.
So
It's You've Got Mail, Tom.
I don't know it, but we'll fix that.
It is You've Got Mail. It
Yeah,
is
it's-
literally
Her
You've Got Mail.
bookshop in You've Got Mail is called The Shop Around the Corner.
Yes.
Fine.
it's on
There's
HBO.
several-
it's
yeah,
on
there's
Max.
it's so
Got it.
great.
Okay. I'm sure I'm taking somebody's here, but White Christmas.
Yeah.
Literally just watched it like half hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that.
We watched it last night.
We watched it last night. I love it. I feel like it holds up. I think the dancing's great. I think the music's great. I think the barn that they do all of the stuff in is like huge because they
Yeah.
put on these giant productions. I have I have questions. Like, where are all these people staying? Are they staying at the lodge? Like,
That's
like,
a good question.
and then he's like, "Hey, everybody! I know it's Christmas Eve, but come up and see the general." And everybody shows up the next day.
yeah.
Like, how efficient is travel back then? Like, they're just getting on trains and showing up to Vermont. Like,
hopping in your Studebaker and
just saying. But it is a classic. We love it.
I don't remember a time before that movie. Like, I've literally watched that movie my entire life. Like, I don't remember the first time I saw that movie because it was like my mom's favorite.
the dance between Danny Kaye and Vera Ellen, where they start inside and they go outside on like the terrace,
yep.
is one of the best dance scenes in cinematic history, I will say.
Better than Save the Last Dance.
Not quite as good as the final scene in Step Up.
Did you see SNL this week with Julia Stiles?
No.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I am going to go. Can I go with the Christmas Switch trilogy? No.
Yes. Yes. We haven't watched those yet. The cinematic universe, which is the Netflix Christmas movies.
Oh man.
Oh God,
That counts as one.
I know. I just
That's
lost
all
what
one
I was
movie.
thinking of,
Yeah.
but that is where my brain went. You go first, Michael, and I'll see if I can remember.
I am actually going with The Wizard of Oz
Ooh.
because it used to come on once a year, and it was the only time you could see it was once a year on CBS when I was growing up.
Oh my
Like
God.
right after, well, it was before VCRs. It was right, it was right after like Thanksgiving. It would always come on after the other specials. Once a year, you would get to see Wizard of Oz.
I feel like people should be forced to sit down and watch Wizard of Oz once a year.
I love the book too. The book is wild, by the way, or the books,
Just
are
like
wild,
the
I
life
should
and
say.
adventures of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Written by Frank L. Baum.
The books are wild.
But, yeah.
Wild.
I understand the argument that it came on one time a year and it was around the holidays.
Yes,
Is that a Christmas movie?
I don't care.
Yeah. It's not.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
He did say he took some liberties.
I took liberties.
Yeah.
Well, because it also anchors you to Christmas time.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's the Thanksgiving Christmas time. It is not specifically, obviously, a holiday movie in any way, but it does because of when it used to air. When I would obviously generations after that didn't have to worry about it because they could watch it at any time, but we could only see it then.
Yeah, that's amazing. My second choice is The Bishop's Wife. And honestly, you can take the Whitney Houston remake, Preacher's Wife. Both are excellent. But the original is one of my all-time favorites. That's a watch near Christmas Day movie for me. Cary Grant. Archie was named after Cary Grant. He's my favorite.
It's true.
So, yep, I'll never say no to Cary Grant. As an angel. Stealing people's wives.
Is it me again?
I don't think
No,
Aaron
Aaron
has
was
given.
supposed to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of Christmas movies, and my brain is like, It's a Wonderful Life is like one of my
Yes.
all-time favorite movies.
Yeah, just in general.
Like,
So
I
good.
don't know why my brain didn't go to that immediately.
Yeah.
Like that is like my like if you ask me one of my all-time favorite movies, I'm always going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a dumb thing that I didn't know or even realize.
Why is a lot of the conversations that we're having around this? Well, this is Tom saying, "Here's something dumb I didn't know."
Did you know? The answer is yes. You all knew this, but Bert and Ernie
Yeah.
got their names from the cab driver and the cop, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right, fine. Let's move
I
on.
think so, yeah.
I know y'all want me to say Die Hard. I'm not going to do it. There's better options. Christmas Vacation,
That's
Never
one of your
saw it.
like family's favorite.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You've never seen that?
Never seen it.
He's not going to like it either.
I don't think he's gonna like it. I was just thinking that.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for somebody to say a movie that we saw last night that I didn't.
Oh, I knew he wasn't going to like the movie we watched last night. It is in my top, though.
That's fair.
I'll say that. Love
yeah.
Actually is one of my favorite movies.
It's a good one.
And I had a feeling Michael wasn't going to like it. And I made him watch it anyway. And
I watched it.
He barely watched it. He was on his phone the entire time. I was like, he doesn't like this. I could
don't know
tell.
that it's really a movie as much as it is a bunch of pages thrown together and then thrown in a blender, then thrown on the screen, and then
But that's sort
tangentially
of like the
connected.
point.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's
They're all
literally
connected.
the point of
Really?
the idea of like when Hugh Grant first introduces the entire movie
Yes.
of what Love Actually is.
I mean,
That is the entire point of
is
the movie.
Love actually the prime minister falling in love with his subordinate who
I feel like
he
you're going to
then
ruin.
fires
All right, can
for
we-
no good reason.
He didn't fire.
Oh.
He didn't fire.
How many
Anyway,
times did you do the Harry
let's-
Potter voice when Alan Rickman
move
showed up?
on. Let's move on. He
All right,
didn't
I'm
do
sorry.
it because he
I did
didn't
not.
actually.
I did not do it. I knew. I watched the whole thing. I saw it.
I know you saw it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I knew you didn't like it. I could tell as
It was
you were,
okay.
I
didn't
could
think it was
tell
bad. It was
as you
okay.
were like 20 minutes into it. I'm like, are you even? He wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, he doesn't like this movie.
Yeah, it's also it's very much people our age who love that movie.
Yeah.
Because like young people don't like it at all. Like it gets torn apart on the regular on like TikTok.
Well, I mean, honestly, it does
It's
have
problematic.
a lot of problematic
Yeah, pretty much every
things in it.
relationship is.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's
yeah.
got a
it's
lot of
not a guide
problematic.
for how to live your life. It's a movie.
Yes. Yes.
It's
That's
like a
fair.
marathon investigator.
Yeah.
It's
All
you're not the
roads
moral
lead back.
police. You're watching a
All roads lead back to marathon.
And I mean, let's get real. All American girls become those American girls when a Brit is around.
absolutely.
Get the out of here. It's true. Like that is
Aaron,
it's as,
hey,
as
easy,
stereotypical
easy.
as a American girl could possibly be
Yep.
when they hear a Brit talk.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. My final choice is Christmas in Connecticut with
Ooh.
Barbara Stanwyck
Yep.
Oh.
and
Yeah.
Good.
I'm gonna
I
bend
like
the
it.
rules even further,
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I swear.
and it is the One Ring to rule them all.
Oh, well, I mean,
the Fellowship
honestly,
of the Ring.
that is a Christmas movie. Ish.
So you have Lord of the Rings and Wizard of Oz, and I skipped over Die Hard.
Well, I mean,
Well, Die Hard is like one of those ones that like everyone argues about that
yeah,
just
I mean,
dumb that everyone
yeah,
argues
it's
over
not
it.
really, yeah.
Whether it's not a Christmas, I mean, it
Now,
happens at
if you want
Christmas.
to argue over who's the real villain in Die Hard. And
Oh
the
my
fact
God.
that
No,
it's-
we're not going to go there. Stop it. We're not getting into that on this podcast.
oh god.
We're
But
done with
Don,
this special.
who is what is he? The obscure Lord of the Rings facts. He's got like a chart and he places Lord of the Rings like in the middle of like what a Christmas movie is and what it isn't.
That's fair.
And he has Lord of the Rings like in the middle.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
because it released at that time of year.
No, I
and
agree.
it
We
gets
had
watched
this
at that time.
conversation at last, like literally on the last episode. We had this conversation.
Yeah.
That was fun. And do you want to save something good for the next episode? Because
I don't
this
have
episode
a
is
something
like
good. So
We don't even have to do a something
5,000
good. Yeah,
years
don't even do
long.
a something
Okay.
good. That's fine.
all right. That was our something good.
yeah, that absolutely was there something good.
Let me just say one more special real quick since
Oh, God.
I had one. Hannah Waddingham's special on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, it was so cute.
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
So
Just
cute.
it was
Yes.
so awesome. It was super fun.
That's right.
So
Because you
that's
had
worth
mentioned
watching,
that you
yeah.
wanted to do that as your something good. But since we were naming all of our favorite things, it feels like that is our something
It was
good.
really fun. It was
Yes,
really,
that
really
one.
fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, when all of half the cast of Ted Lasso showed up on stage and like Nick was like hanging up there, and
Oh
up
my
there.
gosh. Yeah.
like it's just really
So good.
fun.
And she's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's so cute.
Should I close us out of this particular?
Yes.
Okay. So just to wrap up this portion of our 2-part episode, I will leave us with a quote from Ma Otter,
Mm.
from Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. And Ma reminds us, because we talked about our goals, Ma reminds us that a person's got to take some chances or life will never come to nothing.
No, that's true.
Oh.
That's true. She does say
I
that.
love her.
That's true. Also, just side note, as we're closing out, if anyone isn't familiar with the Green Album, which is it's an album of Muppet. I'm deep into the Muppets. If I'm just letting that out of the bag now, you guys didn't know I was hiding that secret. It's called the Green Album, and it came out a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
And there's
yeah.
a cover of like the mashup that they do at Emmett Otter by My Morning Jacket. That is phenomenal. On that.
Oh, of the song at the end
Of
when
the
they
song
blend
at
the
end,
two songs
when they blend
together.
the two songs together. It's
Yeah.
so good. So check out the Green Album. Bye.
Thank you all for listening.
Bye.
The next episode will be all your goals.
January 1st.
We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.